I'd like to welcome a very special guest to our program. We have Carol Kormelink. Carol,
thank you, Doug.
Welcome. Carol has been a client of Sensible Fitness since
6 years.
Early days of time. And she came to Sensible Fitness with a goal of wanting to get up off the floor because that was a struggle for you.
Right, I couldn't do it.
Right.
I had to ask my husband to help me, and he was not kindly about offering help.
But it wasn't long before she was popping up off the floor without a problem.
Right, right.
And some of the exercises that we did back then to help her get to that point was some of the things that we're going to do today. And one of these that we're going to do is called what I call a clean and jerk, but we have one foot on a Bosu ball, and this is going to help challenge her balance. So Carol, why don't you do about 15 of them?
Okay, this is not one of my favorite exercises, but I do it because I know how important balance is. A lot of people have had falls that they wouldn't have had if they would have paid attention to their balance.
And why you bring up that point, Carol, it's an excellent point because there are many people that die from either a broken hip or complications resulting from. Later on you get pneumonia, other things, other complications cause many deaths for people that fall and break their hips. So as you age, you lose your sense of balance. It's very important to engage the central nervous system, to train the central nervous system to keep it sharp so that you don't lose those skills. What she's doing here is, did you already do 15?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'll tell you about the exercises next time. You don't have to keep going.
Well, I wanted to tell you one thing. When I toured Claremont Mercy Hospital in their rehab, I didn't recognize one of the pieces of equipment on the wall. And the guy says, I can tell you what that was because he was in a wheelchair, just had his foot operated on. And that's something that you put your foot on and it turns your ankle.
Okay.
And I'm going, and the lady said, that has a lot to do with your balance. I'm going, oh, I thought it was only the inner ear. But there's about 11, 12, 13 things that have to do with balance. And the ankle is a big part of that.
Right. There's things called proprioceptors in all the joints of your body. They have proprioceptors, and those are nerve endings that give us a sense of balance. If you, like when a police officer, you have your eyes closed and you try to touch your nose, your proprioception guide your finger. You know where your body is in space due to these little nerve endings giving your brain feedback. So that's exactly what you're talking about there.
Right. It's amazing.
Let's switch this to the other side. So
okay.
Slide this towards me. We're going to put your other foot on there. This time I'll describe the exercise.
Okay.
One foot on the Bosu ball, one foot on the floor. This is a very unstable surface. She's basically doing a squat with her back straight. She's bending over but not rounding her back. She's squatting down, standing up, lifting the ball overhead. So we are getting the legs, the low back, shoulders with that overhead lift, all the core muscles. This is a great functional exercise. Is this going to shape and tone some muscles? A little bit, but it's more for functional strength. Functional strength to help keep Carol independent. She has a husband that needs some attention. He's very frail. She might have to help him. She needs functional strength to be able to get him up out of the chair if that's necessary. But we've actually been sending a personal trainer to her home to work with Joe, her husband. And
I lost count. I think that's 15.
That's great, hon. And Joe's been doing really well with the trainer.
He has been doing fantastic. People have been remarking how great Joe looks because they saw him when he was frail.
Right.
When he'd been in the hospital 9 days and it was very frail.
Right.
And he hasn't been in the hospital since.
It's funny to see how people's goals change because people come here in their 30s or 40s and they want to look good. You know, it's more vanity and there's nothing wrong with that. But as people age, their goals are changing and your goal is to get up off the floor. We've had a lot of that before.
And I want to stand straight. I don't want to have the dowager's hump. I want to be able to have good posture.
Right. And I mean, you've done great. Because she does public speaking. She's a member of Toastmasters, so you can't be up there talking like this.
Right.
You have to look good.
Right.
Tell us about Toastmasters.
Toastmasters to me is like your extended family. A lot of friends. I learned so much in Toastmasters. It's a worldwide nonprofit organization that teaches communication and leadership skills. And you don't have good communication if you're not a leader, and a leader absolutely has to have good communication skills.
Well, tell the people out there how to get a hold of Toastmasters.
Toastmasters, www.toastmasters.org. And we have, in the greater Cincinnati area, we have 50 clubs. And I know where all the clubs are located, and they can go online, put in their zip code, and find the clubs that meet. If they want a certain day, they can find a club by the day they meet.
That's fantastic. So if anybody wants to get a hold of Toastmasters, again, www.toastmasters.org. Carol, I thank you for being on the show. Wait a minute. I forgot to tell you. Did I mention she came here 69 years old, couldn't get off the floor. Now she's 75 and she can get off the floor. Here's some video footage of it. So your goals can be met and you can maintain them. And Carol, great job on meeting your goals. And great job with Joe at home. Sounds like he's doing great.
He is doing, I'm really pleased with what he's doing.
Good.
For all that he has the matter with him, I think he's doing fantastic.
Good.
And if you dwell on people's strengths, you can help minimize their weaknesses.
And
That's
we
my
make
thought.
it strong.
Yes, you make us strong.
Thank you again.
I keep telling Joe I can beat him up now.
Yeah, you probably can. Thanks for being on the show, Carol.
Thank you, Doug.
You're welcome, hon.